Hello, YouTube. This is Omar. I'm back with another knife discussion. As you know, I'm the knife shark, the discontinued guy, the discontinued Kershaw guy, but I also like to do knife discussions, and I like to get people's thoughts on what they think about knives. And today, I'd like to talk about deployment systems. We often have our own vocabulary in the world of knives. You know, we talk about detent and smoothness and all that stuff. But it's pretty clear to me that those words are not necessarily used with all kinds of knives. Just because some knives don't have those, they just were not built with those qualities in them. They're built differently. So anyhow, in front of you, what you see here are three different knives. We got the Spyderco Swiss Bowie right here, the ZT 0801 Blackwash, and then here's a discontinued beauty. I think I already had done a video on this, the Kershaw Boa. Okay, three different knives with three different deployment systems. This one is a manual folder, runs on phosphor bronze washers. This is a ball bearing KVT system knife, and this is a spring assist. And I think my point is this: as knives evolved, knives all automatically had their own vocabulary. We started looking at knives a little bit differently. Somewhere along the way, knives went from becoming strictly a tool to art, and it's my opinion that every knife designer is trying to find that link or that crossover, where it goes from being a tool so far and then it stops, and then we start looking at it like a piece of artwork. And that's where knives are going today with a lot of the custom knives that people are making. And they're now starting to creep into the production folder line, to a point, because knife companies can't indulge them. The knife production companies cannot indulge themselves in Damascus clips and Timascus clips and all these wonderful things that we like to see on knives and make them look pretty. But they do the basics incredibly well when they can. So a lot of the production folder companies, they are now concentrating on getting the basics down. In other words, is the knife centered? Does it have really nice smooth action? How does it deploy? Those kinds of things. So they've decided to step away from all the things that knife designers put into knives, because knife designers are past that. They're trying to do things to make their knives look much more flashier and much more prettier, but yet not losing any of the functioning properties that make it a knife. My case in point, so let's go ahead and take a look at these three. This is the Spyderco Swiss Bowie. This is my all-time favorite knife. The only thing that it's not is it's not a super steel. This is CTS HXP. Okay, but the smoothness is what we're talking about here. See how nice and smooth that is? It's perfectly centered, and it's very smooth. By the same contrast, this Kershaw 801 Blackwash knife, this is also very smooth. This knife actually falls shut, as you can see. Real super smooth knife. And then this one's a spring-assisted blade, so this one will automatically pop out. Which brings me to another question. How do you view knives? Would you consider both these two knives here, are these two knives the same as this one? This is a spring-assisted blade, and this is a spring-assisted knife, and these are both manual folders. We don't use the same language for both these, do we? But yet, can we still use fit, finish, and quality on a spring-assisted knife? Let's say this is a high-end spring-assisted knife, which I don't see too many of those. I doubt you would ever see a spring-assisted knife and it goes for like $500, $600. I haven't seen one. Like I said, I'm still fairly a beginner in knife collecting. I'm sure there's some out there. I just never heard of it. But with spring-assisted knives, the the fit, finish, and quality, it seems to end at a certain price point. Because for manual folders, in my opinion, for manual folders, the basics are automatically on a knife, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's right around 240 bucks. 230, 240 bucks, the basics are there. What are the basics? The basics are nice smooth action, the knife is perfectly centered, it opens very quickly, very tight tolerances, there's no blade play. That's what I'm talking about when we're talking about fit, finish, and tight tolerances. A lot of emphasis is put on the manual knives. More than likely because these knives are actually 90% of the time they are made or associated, most of the time associated with a custom knife maker, the manual knives, whereas the spring-assisted blades, they can have fit, finish, and quality, but I'm not necessarily sure you'd use the same language. Because they put these are mostly, and I'm not saying that custom knife makers don't make spring-assisted blades, they do. I just think maybe there isn't enough interest in the average buyer that's gone past buying budget folders to go out and even hear of getting a spring-assisted, high-quality spring-assisted knife. But I'm sure there's a market for it. I don't see it being pushed in the knife world. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Again, that's what these videos are all about, your comments, your questions, however you see it. But I see the Spring Assist as a really great knife, but it's a different animal from these guys. Because over here we concentrate on the basics, looking at the basics and beyond what makes a great knife and makes us want to buy it, versus the spring-assisted blade, possibly automatically assuming that the fit, finish, and quality is there to the limitations of the knife. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, wow, that's got really good quick action. It automatically has quick action in my mind, man. It's a spring assist. You know what I mean? And also when you're flicking a spring-assisted blade, you automatically know what it's going to feel like to deploy it, whereas this, we say, oh my God, that feels incredible. I can't believe it. Because it's a manual knife, and somebody designed the knife and made it that way. You put a manual system in there, maybe a KVT ball bearing system in there, or you did it with phosphor bronze washers. But no matter what, we can both agree, or everyone can agree, that every knife feels different when you flick it, when you open it, when you deploy it, versus a spring assist where it's probably not quite that much different. And I'm actually going to do another video on spring assists at another time, because I got my own opinions on that as well, and I'm just trying to bring up some questions. So anyway, that's what this video is about. And basically the question is, do you view manual knives in the same quality category as a spring-assisted knife? Which is all I wanted to say. So, okay, any comments or questions on this video for this particular topic of knife discussion? Please leave your comments below. And remember to subscribe if you like my video. I hope you do, because I really enjoy doing these. I want to continue doing this. And once again, I want to give a quick shout out to the Knife Beater. I want to give a quick shout out to Wavester64. And I want to give another quick shout out to all my friends at iKnife Collector, Jay, and Ellis, those guys that have been supporting me doing my channel. I got 40 subscribers right now, currently. And I do hope to hear from all of you. Please view my videos and give me your opinion, because your opinion does really matter. You contribute to my channel as to whether I'm actually going to be doing more of these videos. And I hope to see you guys soon. Once again, this is Omar the Knife Shark, over and out. Thank you.